They say, when a man waits 30 years for a child, the gods must have heard his cry. But in Ungu, even when the gods speak, man's law can still kill. Ungu was not an ordinary village, it was a land of ancient rules. Rules that were feared more than the gods themselves. One such rule was this: no twins. If a woman gave birth to twins, the children and the mother were to be killed. There is no mercy and there is no questions from anybody. There is no higher authority. Now let me tell you a story. Let me tell you about a man named Keffi. Keffi, he was a palm wine tapper, known far and wide for his skills. He climbed the tallest palm trees with ease, wrapped in a red cloth, his gourd tied behind his back, and a knife strapped to his waist. People loved his wine. It was fresh, sweet, and strong. Even the chiefs sent messengers to buy wine from him. But what Keffi wanted most in his life was a child. He and his wife had been married for over 30 years, yet they had no child. Still, Keffi worked hard. He was respected, even wealthy. He is so wealthy that he was known more than many men in his town called Ungu, but not all respect him. Keffi had two good friends, Kapazuki. He is tall and lean, always laughing with big white teeth, and Oyok, quiet and sharp-eyed. They fished together, they drank together, they shared secrets. However, deep down, jealousy was growing. Why should Keffi have all this wealth? Why should he be so blessed? Then, one moonlight, everything changed. Keffi's wife, after 30 long years, became pregnant. It was the talk of the village. Old women shook their heads and said, "The gods have remembered Keffi." He was so happy that he threw a feast even before the baby came. Drums sounded, palm wine flowed. There was meat on every plate. But fate plays tricks. The night his wife gave birth, the sky was quiet. No wind, no sound. Just the sharp cry of a baby. Then another, twins. Keffi stood frozen at the doorway. He couldn't speak. His wife looked at him with fear in his eyes. She knew the law. So did he. That moment broke Keffi. But love, they say, is stronger than fear. He wrapped the babies in soft white clothes. He held his wife's hand, looked her in the eyes and said, "You must leave. Tonight, you must leave. We all know that you gave birth to twins. I wouldn't want anything to happen to you and our twins. You must leave for me. You must leave for our family. You must go somewhere else." He saddled a small brown horse, tied food and water to each side, and in the dark night, he sent his family away to where he didn't know. But away from Ungu, he stayed behind. At dawn, women who heard the cries came asking questions. "Keffi, we had babies. We heard their cries last night. Where is your wife?" "She went to the farm early," he replied calmly, though his heart was racing. But the village was not fooled. Whispers began. Then come the accusations. Kapazuki and Oyoko. They were the first to speak. At the next village meeting, they stood up and said, "Keffi has broken the law. He hides twins. This man mocks our ways." Keffi was dragged to the village square. He was beaten. He was tied with ropes made of goat's hide. He was judged guilty of conspiracy and breaking ancient law. His punishment must be death by execution. He was tied to the ropes. He was judged. He was punished. They said once again, he must be killed. The villagers shouted in agreement, but that night something happened that no one expected. The young king of Ungu, a strong, proud man, died in his sleep. People woke up to screams from the palace. Drums of mourning were beaten. The sky turned grey. Before anyone could understand, the queen also died the next day. Panic, fear, whispers filled the air. Is this a curse? Did Keffi bring this to us? The villagers' seers were called. They lit fires, chanted, and stared into flames. But they saw nothing. Then the oldest elder collapsed and died while drinking water. Now the village was afraid. Even the strongest warriors would not speak loudly. The people gathered and cried out, "Release Keffi! The gods are angry." Keffi, weak and covered in bruises, he was brought out of the cell. But instead of mercy, the village banished him. He was told to leave Ungu and never to return. As he left, two things happened. His two friends, Kapazuki and Oyok, lost their sight. They screamed as darkness swallowed their eyes. The skies cleared. The air grew quiet. Keffi walked through forests, crossed rivers, and slept under trees. After many days, he reached another land. There, he started a new life. He tapped palm wine he kept to himself. He waited. 10 years passed. One day, while sitting under a palm tree, watching the sunset, he heard a soft voice behind him. "Papa!" Keffi turned slowly. There they stood, his twins, now strong, beautiful. And beside them was his wife, smiling with tears. Keffi cried. He held them. He laughed like a child. That day he found peace again. He never heard of Ungu again, but in the evenings, when he poured palm wine into his cup, he would look at the sky and whisper, "I am fulfilled."